What is going on, everybody, man? King Recon. I have been dying to talk about this all day, man. So after I did the Kakegurui anime live reaction last night, because before that, I already started reading the manga. You know, in the lead up to the episode, I couldn't wait, man. So I read from chapter 1, I believe I was up until chapter 8 or 9, and then I had to go to the bathroom, and then when I came back, Kakegurui was out. So the moment the episode ended, I continued reading, man. I was really enjoying it. It was like going through my first time all over again in terms of experiencing the story once more, but in manga form this time. And I mean, I can't even lie, man. I think I enjoyed it more the second time, dude. But when I reached chapter 27, man, which equates to episode 11 in the anime, I saved all of those panels. Now, guys, you know, bear with me. I rewatched episode 11 a whole bunch of times, man. I even made my own edit, including the ending. That's how much I love that episode. And I think the manga did it way better, bro. Like, it's not even close, man. The art, dude, I was saving panels left and right. But, man, dude, like, the way they handled that chapter. Like, that chapter to me, I mean, like the way that it ended off with Runo going off and calling Radhika, you know, but the lead up to it in the chapter after, man. Now listen to me, yo. So yesterday, you know, I was, you know, even though I still enjoyed it, the finale, of course, didn't live up to my expectations, man, because I was looking forward to something, you know, for real to go down with the president and Yumeko. And I'm so happy to find out that none of that was canon, except for a couple things they switched here and then, and of course a couple of the scenes at the end of the episode. But I find it curious how the aquarium scene that they were talking about was actually reversed, because she challenged Jabami in the anime. Jabami was the one challenging her in the manga, and I found that to be like, yes, let's go. Now listen, man. The way, the direction that it took in the manga completely blew my expectations. First of all, I didn't expect her to get into another match like immediately afterwards. So, you know, that match really made me feel a lot for her, man. I'm forgetting her name at this point in time, but for the secretary. And like that, the Tower of Doors, it reminded me of how the same way that I felt whenever I was watching the one with the idol, because, you know, even the match in of itself wasn't that intense, and you knew that Jabami was going to be able to get out of it somehow. You just had it in the back of your mind. Just the fact that, like, the Prez was there, and it was showing a little bit of backstory when it comes to, like, how the organization was created and whatnot. Like, a lot of the world building in that part was really, really, really good. It didn't have the same intensity as a lot of the other battles, but from a world building standpoint, I really, really liked it, man. Really, really liked it. And of course, when it comes to the characterization of her, and the finale really shocked me. You know, whenever she went out, and because it reminded me of like that one Crollo moment in Hunter x Hunter, because she goes out there and like at first you're like, what in the world? And then it just made me love Kirari even more. Yo, Kirari, best character 2017, period. But it just made me love her even more because she went after her. You know, if she would have went through any other door, she would have died. Because she went through that door, she found her just that, you know, that's what she liked so much about her. You know, I was like, man, because at the same time it doesn't take away how insane she is, but it does show like the type of person that she is, and she's very like her. And I love how that entire Tower of Doors arc really showed just how similar Jabami and Kirari are. And even whenever you get to chapter 44, there's a lot of different instances where like everyone's just questioning, you know, what Yumeko's flipping relationship is with the president, because they just think so similar, like, for everything. And I love that about them, man. But yeah, I love that stuff. But nah, dude, when the tournament started, man, from then on out, bro, it was straight up greatness, man. I'm talking about straight up greatness. You want to talk about a tournament of power? You want to talk about a tournament of power, son? You know, the one in Dragon Ball Super right now, man. We're just talking about a tournament of power taking place in here, dude. When they announced that, I mean, I was beyond shook just by the announcement of it. But when I saw the players coming in and her family coming in, oh my gosh, man. And it just got so interesting. And then whenever Sao told me, by the way, the manga really made me love two characters more than I did, you know, whenever I watched the anime. I think if I were to like talk about my top 5 favorite characters, Kirari's number 1, obviously, obviously, President John for the win. Kirari's number 1. Then it's Yumeko, then it's Midari, then it's Sao Tome, and then the 5th one, yo. Runo, man, it's just how interested I am in her in a relationship with Ririka as well. But, you know, with just those four. But specifically with, I mean, the manga made me love Kirari even more than I already do. And she was already my favorite just in general in the anime. But now the manga made me like, yo. But Midari and Sao Tome in the match whenever, I believe it was from like 37 to 40 something. It was whenever the tag team match that they were having where she fell ill. When Jabami fell ill and Sao Tome came up in there. That match right there solidified like, yo, Sao Tome is a G. And Mari is a G. But before that, the triple... This is probably my favorite chapters, like post anime stuff, man. Aside from, of course, the stuff with Jabami and the Prez. When all of that was going down with Ririka and Sao Tome, and at the same time you had this insane triple threat match with Midari, freaking Yumeko, and the other chick. It was the one with the guillotine cutting off their finger. That match had my heart going at the speed of light, man. I was going down the thing. I was going crazy, bro, going down, but it had me so into it, man. I was immersed. I could not wait for more. I love Midari, man. She's she's a troll, but that's what I love about her, yo. She's hilarious. But that entire portion right there was extremely awesome sauce, man. I just love the direction that the mangaka took, because whenever I reached Tower of Doors, I said, man, they're bringing up the concept of like betting your life again. And, you know, I started thinking, I was like, what is next after this Tower of Doors? Like, what more can they possibly do if they're just going up against student council members? And I'm so glad that the mangaka had the smarts to bring in the entire family, which was being foreshadowed all the way back then in manga terms, like in the chapter, I would say 25, 26, and then in the anime, of course, for episode 8, whenever she left, and then proceeded to, you know, to talk to the other heads of the families. And then she told them, listen, yo, you guys can come into my castle, or in manga, my aquarium. Yo, you guys want to come get some? Come get some, son. So, and I loved how it was, I mean, so the mangaka always had that in mind, that he was going to take that direction, which to me just gets me even more hyped for the final battles that are going to take place. But, you know, strictly talking about, you know, the story now. When it comes down to the Ririka and Runo, the gamer chick, for those two characters, man, those two characters right now, I'm more interested now in them than I've ever been. To know that Ririka acts the way that she does, you know, when her mask first fell off and she bumped into Sao Tome, I was like, is this the same person? Man, she seemed like a savage whenever we saw her whenever she was talking over to the heads. And then when I saw her like that, I was like, man, but it kind of had me spooked as well. Because it seems like Ririka's the type of character that she's very weak per se, in terms of like the way that she is. You know, even Sao Tome was getting like the best of her. I'm not taking anything from Sao Tome, but still, like, vice president is obviously like on another level, you know. But Ririka, with those couple of chapters and everything that was going down, and the way that she just loves to keep the mask on, I can't help but be reminded of the same way I felt about Dio. After what happened in part 1 and then with part 3 with the return, and I loved him more in part 3. I feel like after the unmasking, I grew to really be more interested in Ririka more than I ever have been, because we're finding out who she truly is, man. And whenever she told her that she's gonna use force, and you saw the eyes, and the eyes resembled that of Kirari's, and you're like, oh, what's about to go down? And then Runo, man, it's like, at some points, I believe that like she's the mastermind behind everything because she looks like she's in control of everything. But then I'm like, who in the Flying Flag Nards is really gonna take on Kirari, bro? Like who is really gonna do this, man? Now I'm really excited for what happens after chapter 44 because she's about to get in a match. The Prez, we're gonna see the Prez in action. We're gonna see Kirari greatness in action, man. And that's gonna be really, really nice, man. You know, Kakegurui reminds me of how I felt whenever I read Hitman Reborn after catching up to the anime, because a lot of people stayed anime only, and like so I could only talk so much about the beginning up until the future arc, but I could never talk about the war, the one that took place after the future arc. I'm trying to remember. It's the one with Damon Spade and whatnot, and then the one after the Curse of the Rainbow arc. And like those two arcs, I love so much, man. But like like there's not that many people that read the Reborn manga, and I feel the same about Kakegurui, man. I was like, yo, I want to talk about this, but who do I even talk about it with? And I was like, oh yeah, I can talk about it on YouTube. But dude, I do not regret one bit, man. I'm so glad that I read it from chapter 1 until chapter 44 to catch up, man, because it was such a blast, man. You know, being reminded of the greatness in the beginning, watching episode 12, then coming right back and seeing how everything was executed. And like I said, man, whenever I reached the Tower of Doors, I was like, what's next, man? I started like my hopes started going down a bit. I was like, I don't know if it's gonna ever reach that same high that it did for chapter 27 and 28. And then Tower of Doors hit, and I was really interested. And then I really liked the way that like it changed because the way that the matches took place up until then, the 3 matches took place in the same day. The first one was, of course, a deception, and it was leading up into the next match. But the next match, and a lot of stuff going down there, was leading up into the next arc. And then just Flag Nards, man. I really could have seen this, the anime, the ending with the ending of that chapter where all the families invade the school. Or the Mobami family, like, whenever they invade the school. I could have seen the anime really ending off there. But I understand why they ended it the way that they did, man. I do. Because with the pacing that it was going, you know, it just reached chapter 28. So in order for them to adapt a second season, they would have needed like 56 chapters, and there's only 44 out right now. So I understand why they had to give it a filler ending, per se. But man, dude, I had such a blast, man. Like, it was hard for me to believe that I was enjoying the manga more than the anime. And I like the anime a lot, man. I like its soundtracks. Like, some of its soundtracks are still stuck in my head. And I love the opening and the ending and the voice actors and whatnot. The way that they glow on the eyes. But there's just something about the art, bro. There's something about the art of this series that is so amazing. And it was really hitting home for me after we got to them on Unified and onward. Oh my gosh, man. Like, I just felt like the art was just in its own world, in its own playing field, man. The Tower of Doors, the art was so good. The art, to me, was at its best in that triple threat match. I have to keep going back to it, man. Chapter 36, yo, greatness! With the stuff going down with Radhika and Sao Tome, which had me shook, bro. You know, all she's doing is playing a simple game. A simple game of, you know, where is it? No, where is it, yo? Is it in this hand or is it in this hand? And whenever she said that, I was so spooked. I had goosebumps, yo. And, nah, man. And then the triple threat match that was going down. Midori's a sicko, but so is Jabami and whatever. I love that so much, man. And I truly cannot believe, like I said before, the manga really made me love Kirari Momobami more than I already do, bro. Man, dude, chapter 28, man, I was at the edge of my seat, and then with the Tower of Doors arc, you know, allowing me really to see more of her character and who she is, because up until this point, we've only seen her from the standpoint of, you know, she's this overpowering president and everyone's under just because of how powerful that she is. But there is actually somebody that cares for her, that really, really loves her for who she is, man. And she accepts her for that. And then, of course, you get all this stuff going down, which makes her even more interesting to me, because even though she is the one on top, and she knows that nobody, probably besides Jabami right now, can take her out, or maybe even Radhika and Haruno, gamer chick. I still want to know what's going down with those two, but that's like, it just had me, like, the fact that she's having this tournament so that people can challenge her, so that she could participate in all these things. Like, to me, it's just so interesting, man. And I don't know where this tournament's leading, because it feels like she's about to take on the person who's in second place, right? If I'm not mistaken. So if that's the case, it's gonna be quite an interesting match. It's gonna be quite an interesting match, because if she's in second place, that means that she's got to be a sicko. You know, normally people who are strong in this series, they're sickos. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But I also want to see like how is, you know, the strength of the president, man, because we haven't really seen her go in a match. We've only seen her, you know, have her hockey leak out in the middle of stuff, yo, and you're like, dude, she has eyes and level monologues, man. Like, I'm a Kirari fanboy. I truly am, but I can't help it. I don't want to help it, man. You know, it's really rare for me to, or not, I'm gonna say really rare, because it does happen quite often. But whenever it does happen, it happens like this, man. It just makes me so happy that I can find a character that I like this much. You know, from the design, from the voice actress, even the manga, the way, it's like I said, man. The manga made me love her more than I do in the anime, bro. And that's hard to believe, man. Kirari Bobby. Because after I watched the final episode, I was like, man, bro, am I gonna grow into a Radhika fanboy? And don't get me wrong, I really have grown to, you know, be way more interested in her character. But the manga's made me even more interested in Kirari. So I'm like, gosh, bro, like, I'm not gonna lie, man. After episode 11, I was like, is this gonna be it for the Prez, bro? Like, is this gonna be it of her being on top? But nah, man, the mangaka's doing it justice, yo, because he's keeping her on top while also having like these little side plots going down, where you're like, who really is like the top dog around here? And then there was this one panel that had me shook. It was whenever they were back in the student council in like where the student council was going in. I also remember the family first came in, and one of the characters, I forgot who it was. It was you know, Kirari was sitting right there, and then behind her was Radhika. And whenever she went up, whenever she was like in her mind, she said something around the lines of like, oh, you're up to your usual stuff, hey, Radhika. And I was like, what did she mean by that? So, and then the stuff started going down with Saotome. And like everything was according to her plan, and then she said no, not according to mine, and then she stops mid-sentence. I was like, bro, what is going on? And it's like there's so many things happening. It's gotten to the point in Kakegurui to where it's not even the matches. It's not even the matches that I'm watching it for. Even though like there are some really intense and awesome matches that really get your heart going, it's to find out what's happening in the story and with the plots and with these characters. Man, I feel like I'm watching wrestling because there's just so many of these over-the-top characters that I can't wait to see take each other on. And it really feels like I'm watching professional wrestling, man. And I love it, dude. I absolutely love it, man. And right now, I can't wait for chapter 45 to drop. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in terms of having Kakegurui on the channel. Since Kakegurui does not come out that often, it does not get updated that often, maybe I will, whenever it does get updated, do chapter videos on it, you know, in a similar way that I do with Ippo. But because I'm just enjoying it so much, man. It sucks that the anime's done, and I've caught up, and it's amazing, but like I'm caught up. There's nothing else. I know 45 dropped 2 days ago. It's just that it's not available to us yet. I believe the raws are only available. I'm not gonna look at the raws, man. I want to read it. I'm not really sure if I'll do like reactions or reviews or anything. You know, I might just do something like this, or I might just shoot the breeze, talk about the greatness. But overall, this video, you know, with all the rambling, just know that, you know, the main point of this video is I'm really enjoying the Kakegurui manga, and I think I made the right business decision after finishing the anime, going all the way back to chapter 1, re-experiencing everything in the manga, and then, you know, after chapter 27, all that brand new content. Yo, that chapter was too godly, man. That might be probably like the best. I don't know. It's so hard because I love chapter 36 so much. Dude, that triple threat match. I mean, that's my favorite. That's my favorite gambling match. Period. That triple threat match. Oh, that's my favorite. But like, you know, that's Japabi and that's Kirari, man. It's hype. You know, dude, I was saving panels left and right, man. I truly was, dude. Like if my computer stops being a troll here, I will show you guys, man. Like, I was so into it, man. Like, last night, I stopped at 35. And then, whenever I woke up really early before I went to work so that I could read the rest of it, man. Because I really wanted to read Kakegurui, man. I really did. Like, I could barely even sleep. Like, look at these panels, man. Look at how gorgeous. I saved this there on the moment that I saw it. I had to save it. Yo, they're so similar. Dude, and I love how they continue to like bring it up nonstop all the time. Like, what kind of relationship do they have with each other? Because they're so similar. I'm like, yes, they are. Dude, I love the way the manga handled this entire thing, bro. Let me open the 4 of them back to back. I have to, bro. I have to, yo. Just look at this, dude. The end of episode 11, man. Chapter 27. Look at this. Let's see if it pops up. I love the way that this panel right here is structured, man. If I can focus. Let me see. There we go. But yeah, like that panel right there. Whenever like you know, whenever her eyes glow, and then yeah. The art, but this man, I mean, look at the faces, bro. Look at the just how the attention to detail, man. I mean, it looks better than the anime. And I love how you just have both of them, just their faces, and on the bottom it's just a black bar, you know, talking about having the supernova speech, and you're like, it's genius, it's genius. And then my favorite panel in the entire series, bro. I have been spamming this panel everywhere, dude. You truly are interesting, or fascinating, as it was said in the manga, man. You know, this journey has been awesome, man. This journey has been awesome, and I'm so glad, like I said, that I went back from chapter 1 and everything. I caught up that way. But yeah, man, if you guys, well, if you got in this far in the video and you have not read the manga, I apologize for a bunch of spoilers. But yeah, man, just really enjoying the Kakegurui manga, and like the direction that it went in. This tournament that's going down right now, it's really awesome. I love the idea, like I said before, because after the Tower of Doors, I said, man, where in the world is this gonna go from here? And now I know. Now I know, and it's even better than I could have ever imagined, because now with all these other players, you can once again postpone and hype us up more for not only the story and the plot behind what's going down with Radhika and Rudon, for example, but also with the Prez and Yumiko, because we know that they're gonna clash, man. We know that's gonna happen. When it does happen, it is going to be godly. But the build up just continues to build up and up, build up. So it's got me hyped, man, and like the manga really has me, like, it has really made me love these characters more, man. Maybe it's because I binged it like all in one go, and I watched Kakegurui on a mainly weekly basis. So like binging it from like the first chapter to chapter 44, maybe that's what maybe that's why. But it's such a fun experience going through this manga again, man. It was greatness. But yeah, man, Kirari Momobami, man, my favorite character of 2017. In terms of like a series that I have read this year, that I started reading this year, and I mean, she might be one of my favorite characters ever, bro. Like legit, Kirari's a goat, man. Yeah, man, the dialogue, man, the monologue, the way that the design, man, and she's like Dio, but you guys did not for day, man. Let me know what you guys think about the Kakegurui manga in the comment section down below, and what are your favorite moments thus far in the Kakegurui manga. Really enjoyed what I read thus far, man, and I can't wait for more, dude. I hope they drop a chapter soon. That would be awesome sauce. I'm loving the art, man. The art is just, it's gorgeous, and can't wait for more, guys. Can't wait for more. I'm so happy I started this series, man. It's like one of those series that just sticks out to you, man. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you made it this far, and you know, I was mainly just rambling here, just shooting, but thank you guys so much, especially for you guys who've been with the Kakegurui journey for a while now, man. And you know, we've been sharing, even though there's a small part of us, man, we've been sharing in the hype nonetheless, yo, and I'm looking forward to seeing more from the greatness and the awesome sauce, guys. But thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. And let me know what you guys think about the manga down below. I really am interested, man. Let me know what like, your favorite characters are and whatnot. And let's talk about the awesome sauce in the comment section, bro. Kirari for the win, man.